For more than a decade, Dylan Dreyer's life seemed to revolve around family, television, and the future she had built with Brian Fichera. Then, in 2025, everything changed.
Dylan Dreyer has filed for divorce from husband Brian Fichera. The Today weather correspondent completed the filing on March 10th, according to People in Us Weekly.
After their separation and her divorce filing in 2026, Dylan suddenly found herself beginning a completely different chapter. But what happened next wasn't the story many expected. Today, she's revealing what life really looks like after divorce. For more than a decade, Dylan Dreyer and Brian Fichera built a life around their three sons, Calvin, Oliver, and Rusty. So when Dylan announced their separation in July 2025, fans were left wondering what had happened to the couple they had watched grow together. Months later, she filed for divorce, officially closing a chapter that had lasted 12 years. But Dylan has made it clear that the end of their marriage doesn't mean the end of their family. What makes her story especially unexpected is how different life looks now. Dylan has spoken openly about learning to co-parent, raising her boys in a new home, and finding happiness in a life she never expected to have. She has even said that her relationship with Brian is better now that they are no longer married, because they can focus on being friends and parents without the conflicts that affected their marriage.
Dreyer first announced their split in July 2025, noting that the pair remained the closest of friends. Dreyer, 44, and Fichera married in 2012 and share 3 sons.
But behind that calm perspective is a much more emotional transition. Moving away from the family home brought Dylan to tears as she reflected on the memories her children had created there. And then came an unexpected decision that revealed just how close her family remains, even after divorce. The biggest twist in Dylan Dreyer's story is that divorce didn't completely break the family she had built. It changed its shape. After filing for divorce in March 2026, Dylan moved with her 3 sons to Long Island, where the family began creating a new routine. Reports say the boys are doing well, and Dylan has found a way to balance her demanding career with being home with them after school. But perhaps the most surprising part is her relationship with Brian. Dylan has explained that although their marriage ended, their ability to work together as friends and parents has actually become easier. She has said there was something in the marriage they couldn't fix, but accepting that allowed them to move forward without holding those problems against each other. Their priority now is their 3 children and maintaining a loving, respectful family environment. Then came another emotional turning point. In June 2026, Dylan revealed how difficult it was to leave the New York City apartment where she had raised her children. Seeing the empty bedrooms and realizing that an important chapter had ended brought her to tears. Yet only weeks later, she was showing another side of her new life, taking her boys on a family vacation with Brian's relatives. Even after divorce, she chose to preserve those relationships because, in her words, family is still family. The surprising truth is that Dylan isn't trying to erase her old life. She's learning how to carry its best parts into a completely new chapter. For Dylan Dreyer, the hardest part of starting over wasn't simply signing divorce papers. It was realizing that a life filled with years of family memories had changed almost overnight. Leaving the New York City apartment where she had raised her 3 sons brought those emotions rushing back. She later described breaking down in tears as she looked at her children's bedroom and realized that one important chapter of their lives had finally ended. But Dylan has refused to let that ending become the definition of her future. After moving to Long Island with Calvin, Oliver, and Rusty, she has focused on creating a stable routine for her boys while continuing her work on Today. Reports say the children are doing well, and Dylan has found that she can be more involved with them after school.
Dreyer said she was genuinely happy amid the split and noted that Fichera still does daily school drop-offs and family dinners.
For a mother trying to rebuild her life, those ordinary afternoons may matter more than anything happening under the television cameras. Perhaps the most emotional part is the way Dylan has chosen to handle her relationship with Brian. She has acknowledged that there were things in their marriage they couldn't fix, but she no longer wants to carry resentment from the past. Instead, they are learning to move forward as friends and co-parents. And even after their separation, Dylan continues to maintain a close relationship with Brian's family. In August 2026, she explained why she still took their 3 boys on a vacation with their father's family. For her, family is still family. That may be the most powerful part of Dylan's new chapter. Her old life didn't simply disappear. She is taking the love, memories, and relationships that still matter, and building something different around them. Divorce changed the shape of her family, but it didn't erase the family itself. The biggest surprise in Dylan Dreyer's new life came when she showed that divorce didn't mean cutting off the family she had built with Brian Fichera. In August 2026, she revealed that she had spent her 45th birthday vacationing in Turks and Caicos with her 3 sons and members of Brian's family, including her former in-laws. Brian himself wasn't on the trip, but Dylan said she never considered abandoning the tradition because, to her, they were still family. That decision says a lot about how she has chosen to handle the divorce. Instead of dividing everyone into his family and her family, Dylan has tried to preserve the relationships her children grew up with. She and Brian also continue attending their sons' activities together, showing the boys that their parents can live separately while still supporting them as a team. And perhaps that's the real twist in Dylan's story. Her marriage ended, but she didn't allow the ending to destroy everything that came before it. She is building a different kind of family life, one based less on being married and more on friendship, respect, co-parenting, and keeping the people she loves close. Dylan Dreyer's story shows that an ending doesn't always mean losing a family. Sometimes it means learning to build a different kind of one, with love, respect, and new memories. If her journey touched you, subscribe to Legend Discovery for more true stories behind the headlines.